Hi guys, welcome to the NTA UGC Net Paper 1 YouTube channel. So if you are not yet subscribed the channel, then please do subscribe guys, and please share this YouTube channel to as much as possible to the candidates who are preparing for the UGC Net examination, especially for the paper 1, that is teaching and research aptitude. Okay. So yesterday we started a previous year question series, and from today onwards the revision classes are going to start guys. So all the 10 units will be discussed in this series. So in the present session we are going to see the teaching aptitude, that is the unit number 1. Revision class, it is a part 1 guys. Fine. Okay. So now, as per our UGC syllabus for the NET examination, the first unit, that is teaching aptitude. So these are the topics are there: teaching, learners characteristics, factors affecting teaching, methods of teaching, teaching supporting system, and the evaluation system. Fine. So let's have a look one by one in this part 1, and rest of the topics we will continue in the part 2, 3 and 4. Okay. Fine. So now, what is the main aim of the teaching? The main aim of the teaching is that to bring the changes in the behavior of the students. So most of the time we got this question guys. That means what is the important aim or else objective of the teaching or the learning? Okay, the objective of the teaching or the learning process is that to bring the changes in the behavior of the students. It is the first point. Okay, and all the rest of the points will come later, that is to improve the learning skills of the students. And of course this first point and third point, both these two are say acquisition of the knowledge. That means whatever the teaching and learning process is happening, the students has to acquire the knowledge which is coming from the teacher or else coming from the books, okay, or else from anywhere. So formation of belief, that means the main aim of the teaching is also this one. That means we should create one belief to the students, okay, that they could cope up in the career or in the further life. So coming to the concept of teaching is that teaching is nothing but sharing of the information or knowledge from one person to the another person, that is from teacher to student. And in the traditional concept means in the olden India, the teaching is nothing but imparting the instruction to the learnings in the classroom. Okay, just like the Gurukulas and all these things. The teacher has to give some instructions to the students in the classroom only as per the curriculum based. But in the modern concept, whatever the present teaching learning process is, that not only giving the instruction to the learners, but also the teacher has to give the desired knowledge and skills to cope up in the further career or else to for living in the society. Okay. Next, so few expert views are there. That means whoever the famous personalities gave the different definitions for the teaching. So this one also important, but nowadays the NTA is not asking that this definition is given by whom and all. But don't take the chance. So please once have a look that Morrison gave what, and Jackson and JB Ho. Okay, what are the different definitions for the teaching given by these experts? Okay, so just pause the video and then make a note of all these points. Fine. And coming to the objectives of the teaching, or to bring the changes in the students, as we already discussed, and behavior and conduct, acquisition of the knowledge. So all these things already we discussed. And coming to the levels of the teaching, so it is also one of the most important one guys. And in 2021 also we got one question regarding this one. Fine. So what is the memory level and understanding and the reflective level? So here we can take that memory level is a starting level, and it is called as a thoughtless teaching. Thoughtless teaching means usually the children will learn that A for apple and B for ball and C for cat, D for doll, something like that the children will learn. It is completely the thoughtless. They don't use, they will just use the brain only to, only to study and then retention. Okay, only to study and then retention. So it is nothing but a thoughtless teaching. And in this process, the students will not analyze, and the teachers also will not go in an analytical way of explanation in the thoughtless level of teaching. Okay, next one is the understanding level. It is nothing but a thoughtful. That means the students will start connecting. That means if you are telling that here the A for apple means in the real world, if they see the real apple fruit, then they can link up. Okay, that means whatever the ideas or the concepts they studied in the thoughtless teaching, they start matching up with the realistic worlds. Okay, it is the car and it is the ball. Okay, and they will start learning about what is the functionality of the any one process. Okay, they will start analyzing also, in the thoughtful teaching. But while coming to the reflective type of teaching means whatever the things the students analyzed, understood, they will try to apply those concepts. Okay, they will try to apply those concepts and solving the realistic problems, whatever the realistic problems or society is facing, and getting one practical solution to the problems. All these things comes under the upper thoughtful level or else a reflective level. Okay, so here I told that C for car, it is the thoughtless teaching, and how the car works, what it contains, on what principle it is working, it is called as a understanding level of teaching. Fine. And reflective level means the students will understand the concept of this one, they will try to design one new thing, whatever the problems are facing by this existed machine, they will try to overcome those problems and come up with the new machines or the new models. It is called as a reflective level or else the upper thoughtful type of teachings. Got it? And regarding this one, I kept few of the slides here, so if you want, you just pause the video and then make a note of this memory level. Okay, and what are the advantages of this memory level? So memory levels are generally useful for the young children's only, it don't useful for the higher school children's or else the higher education candidates, right? But this thoughtless teaching or also memory level type of teaching is a most important prerequisite or the foundation to the any type of next level of the teaching. Okay, and it is useful for the slow learners. And coming to the whatever the different disadvantages are there. Fine. So pause the video and then make a note of all these points, guys. Next, what is the understanding level? So it makes the students to understand generalizations, principles and facts and all these things. It provides the more and more opportunities for the students to develop the intellectual behavior. And coming to the merits of the ULT is effective learning, development of the different abilities, and effective interaction also will be there. But because if the students start understanding means automatically the student will ask questions to the teacher, and then the interaction will develop between the teacher and the student. And the demerits is that and less motivation will be there, and individualized learning. Okay, that means everybody has to get themselves to learn. Okay, that means everybody has a thought to learn themselves by the student. Nobody will motivate here, the student has to learn him or herself, and it is completely the teacher centered one. Fine. And the reflective level comes under the highest level of the teaching learning activity, and it is a problem centric type of approach. That means in this reflective level we are trying to provide a practical solution to the problems, right? It might be the scientific problems, it might be the problems that we are facing in the life also. Fine. And what are the different merits? So it is the most thoughtful mode, and it is the completely learner centered one. Whatever the previously two we discussed, that is a memory level and the understanding level, both those two are the teacher centric, and it is a learner centric one. So okay, self motivation must be there, and the creativity, there is a chances of getting the creative output. And the demerits can be taken as not suitable for the lower classes. It is a time consuming. Why? Because if you are going for the practical solution for a problem means it is almost just like doing a PhD, right? That means doing some sort of research work. So it will take some time, and it is not applicable to the dull students. And next, coming to the basic requirements of the teaching. Okay, so what are the so in this basic requirement, so here there's different types I kept here. All three variables: professionalism, suitable environment, teacher-student relationship, students' discipline. And the teacher has to be devoted to the teaching. In the same way, the student also must be devoted to the learning. Okay, fine. So let's explain about these individual points here. So the first one is all three variables of the teaching. What are all these three variables? Let's have a look. First one is the dependent, independent, and the intervening variables. So these are the three different variables, guys. And regarding this topic, previously we got a lot of times in the UGC previous examination, we got the questions, guys. Right? So here I will tell you one example. So let's take a teacher and the group of students are there. So usually the teacher, based upon the prerequisite knowledge or the cultures, okay, or the socio-economic background of the students, the teacher will select any one of the teaching methodology. We are having the different number of teaching methodologies are there, just like the role playing, simulation, and group discussion method, right? So the different types of teaching methodologies are there, and out of all those, the teacher selected one teaching methodology. Now in this case, students performance depends upon the teaching methodology, right? So now students comes under the dependent variables. Why? Because they are depending upon this teaching methodology. And the teacher comes under the independent variable. Why? Because the teacher is having the freedom to choose any one of the teaching methodology, right? So that's why the teachers comes under the independent variable. Whatever this teaching methodology is there, it is called as a intervening variable. All of you got it? Okay, it is called as a intervening variable. That means whatever the that means whatever the textbooks we are providing to the students, whatever the environment is there, whatever the teaching methodologies we are using, so all these things will comes under the intervening variables. Got it? So that is the definitions of this one. Next, and coming to the second one, that is the professionalism. So professionalism means the teacher's body language and the way of delivering the lecture. Okay, so all these things comes under professionalism. Suitable environment. So if we are doing the classroom in any one industrial area, then we will get the lot of sounds, right? So that's why whenever we are dealing the class to a student, so the environment must be perfectly suitable and in a soothing way. Okay, and the teacher-student relationship. So actually, teacher-student relationship is the main point to make the students approach to the teacher to clear their doubts. Okay, so that's why here the rapport between the teacher and student must be in a wonderful way. Okay, so that the students can able to approach to the teacher to clear their doubts and all. And coming to the students' discipline, the students also must be disciplined very well. Okay, and coming to the last one, as we already discussed, that the teacher must be highly devoted to the teaching. That means the teacher's intention is that to teach the students well. Okay, and in the same way, the student also must be devoted that they need to learn. That means students are having the students are the recipients, teachers are the donors. Okay, so that's why both these two must be properly synced, then only the good teaching learning process will happens. Okay, and coming to the next one is the part 2. That means part 2 means we are going to see about the learner's characteristics. So in this part 1 we discussed about the teaching. Fine. So in the teaching process, we discussed about the what are the different basic requirements and what are the characteristics of the teaching. Okay, and what are the different levels of the teachings are there, just like the memory levels and understanding level and the reflective level. So what they are exactly, and what are the different objectives of the teaching, and what are the expert views regarding the teaching. Okay, how they defined this thing, and what basically the concept of the teaching is that, and what is the main aims of the teaching. Got it? So in the next part we will discuss about the learner characteristics, and I'm requesting you that please share this video to your friends who are preparing for the UGC NET examination. Okay, so it will be very much helpful to them, guys. So here we are going to see all the 10 units quick revisions we are going to see. Okay, so that you please make a note whenever the class is going on, some important points you may get. And apart from these revision classes, you are also going to get the PYQ sessions as well as the MCQ sessions also. So you can practice with the help of both these two. Fine. So finally, this channel will be really helpful to you for your NTA UGC NET paper 1 examination preparation, guys. Fine. So please don't forget to subscribe, and after subscribing, tap the bell icon and share in your respective groups also. Thank you very much. All the best.